Well, it was a brutal year for ARK Invest in 2021, and 2022 isn't looking good either, and now Wall Street is actively trying to drive them out of the business. Oh, you don't believe me? I got proof that I'm going to share with you guys today. So is ARK Invest just a sinking ship that you need to bail from before your money sinks to the bottom of the ocean forever? What the heck should you do? Well, I will answer every one of those questions with the truth without the hype, and I just asked in exchange for a gentle tap of that like button, and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do. And are you against having a team of investors, including me, working directly with you as we navigate these crazy times? If not, then you need to know the sale ends in a few days to join the Market Insiders private group, and the prices will never be this low again. You get full and direct access to me and a group of 6- and 7-figure investors, and you get access to 4 free courses that teach you how to plan, do evaluation, build up your cash, and you get to see my watch list with price targets, my buy and sell alerts, live weekly Q&As, exclusive videos, and a ton more, so just check out the pinned comment. And before blasting me for promoting it, I have no ads, no sponsors. This is what YouTube pays me in a month, and I give half of that, half of the group's proceeds to charity. Alright, so first let's address why Wall Street is actively trying to bury ARK Invest. First, ARK changed the traditional rules of the fund game. Out of all the funds you can invest in, how many of them post their trades daily? Out of all the funds out there, how many regularly communicate with their investors on what they are looking at, why they are buying or selling, and where they think the market is heading, and a ton of topics like that? Out of all the funds out there, does anyone provide any level of transparency beyond what's the minimum required by law? ARK has essentially provided a level of transparency that other funds cannot and will not provide. Other funds don't want you to know how the sausage is made per se, if I could talk. Boy, anyways, that was bad. Nor do they want to have to justify why they are making certain moves. Basically, ARK Invest is straight up threatening to many on Wall Street, because if investors start to demand funds to act more like ARK does, many of those funds are going to be in big trouble. So they want this to fail so they can continue on, which brings me to how they are actively trying to do exactly that. Well, first, Wall Street simply bashes ARK every chance they get. I've seen people whose own funds suck last year go on TV and basically something like,
ARK was down big in 2021 while the S&P returned 26%, so it's not worth investing in ARK funds because they can't even beat a boring index fund, much less make you any money.
And of course, they completely ignore the fact that their own fund lost money too in 2021, or they lagged the S&P significantly as well. We don't need facts, none of that sort of stuff. That doesn't matter. Just listen to my narrative on ARK. They also actively work against ARK as well in the markets themselves. Short interest against ARK funds is standing around 7%, and for comparison's sake, Tesla is around 2% or so. That just shows you how much Wall Street is betting against ARK right now. So should you be concerned with all this? Is this proof that you should run because Wall Street is onto something with ARK? What should you do? How should you handle this? Well, let me walk you through this using myself as an example on how I would handle this, the questions I would ask, and the answers I would give just as an example for entertainment purposes only. First, I would need to answer the question of why I would own ARK funds in the first place. For me personally, I don't own any funds. I like to pick individual stocks, as you guys know. However, if I was going to pick a fund, I personally would consider arkg, and here's why. Reality is, that field is well outside my circle of competence. I cannot spell genomics, much less have any ability to have a deep understanding of these types of businesses, how they make money, how to value those companies, and a bunch of other critical items like that. I just can't do it. So if I wanted exposure to that sector, I would buy arkg. I am trusting that they can do a better job than me at picking winners, and that would be my why. Second would be, what is your timeline? For me, I'm a buy and hold kind of guy, so my timeline is 3 to 5 years, and I reassess every quarter, but that is my expected hold time at a minimum for most investments. So when looking out 3 to 5 years, I would much rather buy when things are bad versus when things are at all-time highs. But guess what? Things look bad right now, but more importantly, I think this fund will be in a much better spot 3 to 5 years from now. Now, if my timeline was 1 year out or 6 months out or something like that, that might be different, but it's not, so everything lines up great for me. And third, what is your confidence in the management team at ARK to execute properly over your time frame? And remember, you are buying a fund because you are trusting they can do a great job with your money. How confident are you in their research? How confident are you in how they position the funds? How confident are you that they have their pulse on innovation and the future because that is the type fund that they are. You need to do your research on the management team and see if they check all the boxes for you. And in terms of the genomic space, I feel that they know it better than I ever could and do have the expertise to identify winners in that space better than almost everyone else. And finally, do you understand what you are buying? I mean, if you are buying ARK's funds and then comparing it to the Dow, you honestly don't know what you are buying. This is a fund full of innovation, high growth companies, and some are early stage high growth companies. Now sure, companies mature like Tesla did and are just profit beasts now, but the vast majority will be unprofitable for years into the future. So that means it will be volatile compared to a normal fund or the Dow or the S&P. So when it gets hard, it's going to be ugly, but it also means when it goes good, you get ridiculous gains like in 2020 with the 156% gains in that year. Which of course also means in a typical high growth stock fashion, you should expect a big pullback the following year, which is what we basically got. I understand exactly what I'm buying with ARK Invest, so large dips will not bother me, and just like individual stocks, may provide a golden opportunity to add more. So that is exactly how I'd handle all of this, but I want to hear from you guys. It's your turn. Are you buying ARK Invest? Do you think they will sink or thrive in the coming years? I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys think. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.